All right. So, welcome. Let's see. Are we working? Are we
Is
showing
it
up?
live?
It says we're live. I see. Okay, how do I control? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay, cool.
We are live.
Let
There
me
we
try
go.
and
Octeal, hello.
let me
Welcome.
try and
Thanks for
frame
joining.
this up a little bit.
Yeah, okay. So I'm looking at mine. I'm reversed on my screen, but it looks like I'm normal there. Okay. That's good. That's Hello, everybody watching now and or later. How's it going? Happy Wednesday for a weird Thirsty Thursday Toys going live for the first time. It's already a fun time.
It's perfect. What are you talking about?
I am here with the Ragnar King, I guess.
Some people call me
Would
the
you
Turtle King. For
the
some
Turtle
reason,
King?
I don't know why, but yeah, Ragnar Chris. Some people say.
The yeah, the creator of the Ragnar squad, Chris
I'm
Hillstead.
just the dude who makes toys, man.
Just a dude who makes and incredible cocktails. Like,
Thank you.
okay,
Thank
so
you.
they're good. Like we were working on some together,
Yeah.
and like I tasted. And you've made we've talked before. You've made
Mhm.
recipes and you've sent me some. I'm like
Yeah.
these are good. Like
Thank you.
I
I
quit. Like
appreciate
I'm
it.
done. You can make the drinks forever for the channel.
No, you're doing it. You've got the channel, you've got the platform, your brand's great, everything looks cool.
Thank you.
If we can collaborate more and just get nerdy about
Yeah.
drinks, I'm more than happy to do that. But I'm not running
Yes.
this. I'm not doing that. I can't do the
No.
toys and this and that. No.
Yeah, send me
It's all you.
recipes. I'm game. Hashtag ask me about my turtle. The Turtle King. Oh, we got a bunch of people in the chat. Jonathan, Wes, Viviana, welcome. Oh, you. So I assume Wes is there.
Yeah, Wes is here. He's
Hi, Wes.
he's in the other room.
On the other side of the. Might be hearing us on a delay there.
That's all right.
Oh,
So
Akil, I went out.
what
I
do you
got
want to
some.
start with first?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, like, do you want to make a cocktail first? Do you want to talk about stuff first? What is this silver
Oh.
stuff that we're gonna
Okay.
use?
So let's start. Should we start with mine and then work up to like the good stuff?
I'm down to party however you want to run this thing. I am just a simple man, and you are the host.
Okay. Let's start with the weird stuff. So this is luster dust, silver luster dust. It's used in like baking and such, but it also works with making some really like iridescent, fun cocktails. And I use it a lot. Like this and blue curacao are just in most of my things.
Yeah.
So this first drink has been shown on my channel before. This is the uranium kaiju. Oh, I should probably say why we're doing Ultraman stuff.
Oh yeah.
So for those who don't know, and you should know, you really should, and I'm sorry if you haven't heard, Last Bastion Studios is, where's the camera? I'm looking at, here, there we go, hey! So Last Bastion Studios is doing a Kickstarter right now. Go check it out. There's a link somewhere. Maybe I should put that, oh, it might be in the description, maybe. If it's not, I'll
If it's
figure out how
not,
to
we'll
get there.
post it later. But
Yeah, you'll
Kickstarter,
find it.
look up
Go on to
Ultraman.
Kickstarter, look for Ultraman Sofubi. It's there. They're doing these 3-inch, 3.5-inch.
Yeah, 3-inch figures. Here's one of the prototypes. Tsuburaya.
Gamora. There we
Hopefully I don't
go.
drop these. Then we have Gamora right here. These are the paint masters that are approved and ready to go. And then we've got the Ultraman.
Oh, these are awesome.
Yeah.
And you can get them right now on, well, you can't get them right now. You can order them right now. Here we go, on Kickstarter.
Yes, you can order them at a Kickstarter rate, so it's going to be like 10, 15% lower than what they're going to retail for. So if If you hop on now, you'll get some savings.
Oh yes, and I do love savings.
Especially when we collect so much cool
Yeah,
stuff. I mean,
that's
every penny counts.
and that's where I'm stuck right now. I'm negative thousand some odd dollars in stuff. So I'm like, okay, I gotta stop.
G-Fest wiped me out, man.
It's
I got way too excited.
yeah, I did GFAT, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, I had a set budget, and then I'm like, oh, I could push that, and then there's this other
Yeah,
thing, and
I can spend another $100.
yeah, well, then it's like, okay, I have a a list of like, here's things I'm looking for. Don't get sucked into impulse buys, but
Yeah.
like, if you see this, then you can spend beyond the budget, and sure
Mhm.
enough, there it was, and I'm like, ah, okay,
Yeah. Everything on your list was there, and
yeah,
I was spending everything. It was just
yeah.
it hurt, but I'm
And
happy. I got cool stuff.
yeah, it's cool stuff. And these Sofubi, there's the three characters. They come in unpainted red vinyl,
Yep.
and the fully painted versions. You can get all of them. You can get unpainted, paint them yourself, and
Yeah.
pair those next to the painted versions. Go check them out right now. I think last time I looked, it was at like $4,700.
Yeah, it's basically halfway there, and we've got about 19 days left. So
Yeah.
we're trying to make a big push and get everybody supporting it. And I'll be on Instagram and Facebook trying to promote it as much as possible. We've got two conventions in August. The first one's going to be Japan World Heroes, where we'll be showing off the prototypes again, and we'll have signups there as well. But hopefully, we'll have it all completed and ready to go by then.
Yes. Are you
Yes.
guys going to be at All Monsters Attack?
Yes, that's the next one. That's the following
Yes.
weekend. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So
I will
I'll
see
be
you
there.
at that one.
Yes. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So
Your drink.
yes,
Your
my drink.
first
Okay,
one.
yeah. So we'll start with this. So this is the Uranium Kaiju. This is based on Gabora, which is one of the three characters you can get. So we're gonna start with Shaker and
Okay.
a little bit of silver luster dust. Not a lot. You can always add more. Just the tiniest.
This is gonna luster all of my drinks after this.
Yeah. Yeah, just the tiniest. There we go. Okay.
All right. We got a little luster.
Got a little luster dust, and I spilled a bit, so now my hands are going to be silver for the rest of the night. Okay, then 1 ounce of vodka.
Vodka.
Here we go.
Alrighty.
All right. Then 3/4 of an ounce of Midori, or whatever off-brand sweet green melon liqueur.
It's been a while since I've had this stuff.
I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
I don't remember it.
It's really sweet, and that's it's bright green and it's sweet, and that's exactly.
How much are we doing of this?
3/4 of an ounce.
3/4 of an ounce. Party.
And then, do you have orange juice?
Yeah, I got some orange juice.
Yeah, 1/2 ounce orange juice.
Crack this baby real quick. 1/2 ounce.
All right. Then you're gonna want to add some ice and shake that up.
Okay, are we straining? Are we pouring? How are we pouring?
Yeah, strain.
Okay.
Let me grab some ice right quick.
This is crazy. This does look nuclear.
Yeah.
It does look
going
radioactive.
The color of like uranium glass.
Yeah. Well, this is something special that I got. I got some uranium glass right here.
Oh, the real deal.
Yes.
That's awesome.
All righty, let's shake it.
All right. Strain
Now, do you
that
have
out.
ice in your cup?
No.
Okay.
Just empty glass. Strain that down.
Whoa. All right.
Vivid. Finally,
This is crazy.
right?
Look at that.
You see the silver swirling around in
That's so crazy.
there? Then, gonna top that off with a yellow energy drink. Yellow tropical citrus energy drink. There we go.
So I got the yellow Red Bull. Is that right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yellow Red Bull.
We're gonna be flying.
Yes. Because he takes the uranium to get energy, so it's energy.
How much? Just a splash?
Top it up.
Top it up. Oh lordy.
There we go.
I'm gonna stir it just a little bit, just to.
Yeah.
Now let's look at it with the.
That's awesome.
Go for a taste.
Too sweet?
No, I'm actually pleasantly surprised.
Hey, that's
With all the other ingredients, I was thinking that it was gonna be like, yeah, poison.
That's
too much sugar.
That's
But
fair.
with the orange juice and shaking it with ice, diluting it, it's actually nice.
Thank you. Grown up
How much
Ecto
energy
Cooler.
does this give me?
Yeah.
Want to try it?
I got to catch up on the chat here. Sorry, folks. Thank you for joining.
Yeah,
Oh my
what
gosh.
we got? Do we have questions? What's happening?
I think I heard of these Last Bastion guys. Oh my gosh. So for those who actually haven't heard of Last Bastion, they've got the Ragnar, of course.
Ragnar! Let's see. I think I have an OG colorway over here.
Yeah. I got a couple of blanks, but I've been too nervous to paint them up.
You should totally paint him, man.
Right? Yeah, there you go. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I got the other one. I got the Serp's Blast.
Oh, yes. I was lucky enough to get one of those. I had to beg Serp to get me one, and I paid for it.
Yeah.
And there's only like what, 3 or 4?
I got number 3 of 5.
3 of 5. So there's 5 total. So I have one, you have one, and there's 3 others out there.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean these are rad. You also have the Lucha. What's the full?
Yeah, Luchador, King Jaguar.
Yes.
Wes has a couple. We'll bring him out to show him off.
This guy.
But he's doing some really rad paint apps on them right now. He's going to be doing like kind of a Kamen Rider series, which is going to look pretty cool. We'll have a couple of them at Japan World Heroes.
First off, call out to our friend Octeal.
This is a one-off that Octeal did, which is so rad. Check out all those colors.
A one-off by Serp.
And then this is a one-off by Serpico. Nice little see-through action.
I love translucent vinyls.
This is a bloodied colorway by Wes. Really fun stuff.
Oh, they want to see the Ultraman again.
Oh, let's see. I'll move over here so I can show the figures off a little bit better. Well, hello, guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's so much better. So they're going to have little mountains and little trees on all the bases.
I love those details.
How it's going to work out is that if you line them all up, it's going to kind of look like a destroyed city. So there's different little details in there.
And normally, like, I like things that are separate and not like holding things, because there's a lot of figures that have like Kong with the axe like permanently in the hand kind of thing. I like things
Yeah.
that are like separate on their own or like detachable from a base. But then I saw
Yeah.
like the trees and stuff, giving them a sense of scale. And that was
Yeah.
so cool on the Ultra. I'm like,
Thanks,
oh yeah, I
man.
gotta get that one.
I'm really happy how they turned out. It's been a process, but I'm thankful that we got through it, and we're gonna be on our way to producing some really rad stuff.
So for those in the chat right now who have already pledged, which characters and which versions did you get, or are you planning on getting, or are you pledging for right this
What
second?
characters do you want to see next? What colors do you want to see next?
Yeah. Well, someone wants to know if there's going to be a re-release of the Cyber Skull colorway. I think that was the Ragnar, right?
Cyber Skull colorway was a Seismic Toy exclusive, and I think if I'm not mistaken, all of them are sold out. There's a possibility that Olio might have one for himself, but we're gonna talk to them about it and see if we can do either a re-release or kind of like do a altered colorway where we'll do something similar but have some striping or different eyes or something else like that. But that was a really fun one. I really like doing this.
Yeah, I love those. That was a translucent run, right? I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was a translucent colorway, and I had chromed the inside, so it had that like layer of separation with the vinyl. And then I went in and shaded and blacked a lot of the crevices, and then wiped away a lot of the paint, so it had that extra layer of line work. And then I did some green eyes and some other stuff on there. It was a lot of fun.
I remember like
liked it a lot.
scrolling through the website, looking at all the different colors. I'm like, oh man, like you have some of my favorite paint jobs ever of like any vinyls.
Oh, thanks,
They are
dude.
they are
Really appreciate that,
delicious.
man.
And not just because most of them are food based, but
Yeah, the blueberry dragon fruit is going to be on its way. Galactic taro.
there was like a boysenberry swirl or
Yes,
something.
the boysenberry chrome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
it was a lot of fun.
they're great.
Paint toys is cool, man. And you paint toys too, don't you?
I mean on a much smaller scale.
What do you got?
I did well. I did okay. The biggest I just did this one. This is the
That's awesome. I saw that. That one's really cool.
Toku Toy Town.
I just ordered some shirts from those guys.
Oh, did you get the
Yeah
89.89s?
I supported.
Oh, the Kaiju Go. Yeah.
Yeah, the Kaiju Go one.
Dude, I love how many more like events and things Kaiju themed or related.
It felt like, just 2 years ago that there was like nothing.
Nothing. You got G
just like
Fest and that was it.
Yeah, and now they're popping up all over the place. I'm just like, yes,
Yeah.
this is cool.
The more the merrier.
Bring it.
Octil says Freya and Fauna say hi to Ragnar.
Oh, hey guys, how's it going? Are you guys drawing? Are you guys keeping up with all the fedoras your dad has?
Can you see
like
the chat on your screen
for them to
or
respond?
live chat? Let's do that. Okay. So I'm not sure if you can see the chat. I can see that on mine. I'm not sure if you can see it.
Kind of. I've got another phone going, so let's scroll through here.
And again, for those watching,
plans to release Beatbox. Yes. I got to get the Ultraman stuff done and taken care of first. I'm going to be finalizing the sculpt for Beatbox as well as the Heavy Metal Wizard, Dreaded Fred, Skelly King, and also Terra Kyofu. Like I've had that model done for basically since the last G Fest, and it's just been tough to put down all the money for the tooling for a really large toy like that. So that's kind of like why we geared towards these smaller Ultraman figures, because a lot of collectors are actually going that way right now. I felt like doing things in this scale would make it more accessible for everybody to pick up a couple rather than having to throw down like $200-300 on one toy. But instead you can throw, 30, $40, and get, a couple of them, buy them individually. So, but yeah, all those toys are on their way. We just have to do all the stuff that we got going on right now.
And everything just changed to Chinese. What?
What?
Thanks, Google. Because I was going to, for those who are looking at the Kickstarter, the unpainted ones are 20, right?
Yeah.
20?
I should know this right off the top of my head.
Unpainted are 20, fully
yeah.
painted are 35.
Yeah.
But you can get all three for 100, I think.
The painted version, yes. I believe so.
And then I think it was 55 for the 3 unpainted.
Yeah.
That's really nice. That's
yeah,
great price points. Like you're saying, like instead of like 250 on a single thing.
Yeah. We want to keep making waves of these characters. Like we got approved to do Pigmon next, Sadola, and then Jamila for wave 2. The one after that, we're gonna kind of gauge to see whose favorite we haven't done. Everybody wants Balton, everybody wants Red King. There's a ton of other characters that people want to see. It's just kind of gauging, like who's gonna be the next winner.
That's it. Yeah, I remember
Sorry, go on.
Like reading it and it was like the wave 1 and kept saying wave 1. I'm like, are there going to be more? Like who?
Oh yeah,
who else?
Yeah.
That's cool
got a bunch of them planned, and we kind of at this scale, I think it's going to be easier to show a little bit more love towards the characters that we don't see regularly produced by all the other licensors. We'll get into like the weird 1 episode or 2 episode characters that might have like a cult following behind them, but we want to eventually do all of them. But we'll take care of this stuff first, and then we'll get over to like the Ultra 80, everything else in between.
Deep cut kaiju, right? Like I just got this Muruchi. Not a lot of Muruchi stuff out there. I had to like hunt this one down.
Oh, that's gnarly! It's like got a mohawk,
right?
Yeah.
Well, that fishy face. So yeah, I would love to see more deep cut kaiju. I got some over here.
Oh, nice, dude. I love it. This thing is crazy. This drink is crazy.
Yeah.
I would definitely put it over ice just to dilute it just a little bit more, but that's me personally. I do like it.
Initially, I had it over ice, but the luster dust didn't swirl as well with all the ice in there, or it was harder to see.
Oh, okay.
So I had it without, but yeah, no, I think you're right. Any advice that you have on these things? Like, yes, I'm writing it down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to riff on stuff. Like it's making drinks is a lot of fun. I mean, you've got so many different elements that you're going to be working with. You got the alcohol, which brings so many different flavors to the drink. You've got the different bitters, you got juices, you've got aromatics, you've got how the drink evolves over time as you drink it once it starts diluting. And just a half ounce or a quarter ounce or in either way on any of the ingredients will shift the drink completely. It's completely different.
Yeah.
If you prep a drink for a rocks glass and you put it into a Collins with more ice, it's going to change things up. And that's like the fun part. You get to play around with it. What works? The first
science.
Ultraman drink. Yeah, it is a science. You're messing with thermodynamics, dude.
Yes, And then I'm playing around with density, and I'm like doing all
Yes.
this other research that I
Yes.
thought I would to make a cocktail.
Yeah. If you make it really cold, you'll be able to float certain alcohols and juices and syrups, and you'll have a nice defined separation. If it's a warm drink, everything's gonna dissipate, like a hot toddy or something like that. Um, but the first Ultraman drink that I did, I made it up in my head just by thinking about like what would play off of each other and what would work with each other, and then making it the first go around. It was close. It was really close. But then actually sipping it and tweaking certain things, making sure that the bitters and the sugars line up correctly, and it wasn't leaning one way or the other, and it was just like on point. Like that's the best part of just like, wow,
I remember
did
you were like, okay, we might need another like quarter ounce of this thing, and
yes,
you're
yeah,
like, yes, there it is, that's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Once you get that balance, then you're like, there,
hmm
that's it.
yeah.
Um,
And drinking these things, that's the other half of it. You
that's the
you
other
did it. You created the awesome thing. Now you get to enjoy your work.
right. It's weird not seeing you in your living. I am. I'm in the dining room. So this is where I normally am. It's just closer up. Um, but yeah, no, I'm surrounded by stuff.
Yeah.
This is like my main filming area. I've taken over the dining room. My poor wife. Not that like we ever like ate in here or anything. We always like eat on the couch. But I've like taken this as my studio. So
Well, looks
she's
rad.
yeah, thank you.
That's awesome.
The one of the drinks, there's a drink with scotch. She loves scotch, so I'm gonna have to make that for her when she gets home tonight. For
Oh,
sure.
okay. Awesome.
Yeah, like looking at the ingredients, I'm like, oh, she will love this.
Which one do you want to do next?
Ooh, let's do the Ultraman.
The Ultraman. All right. Let me wash this out real quick. I'll
Hmm.
do a quick rinse, and then we'll get down to it.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me check on the chat here. I need a 5-gallon jug of that drink for G Fest. I mean, it's doable. Well, okay. So with the Red Bull, that would
That's
lose.
trouble.
That yeah. Well, please be careful when mixing your stimulants and your depressants. Um, there's know how this stuff affects your body.
Yeah.
But when you're mixing up big batches of carbonated stuff, you're going to lose that fizz over time, especially if you're shaking it in a
What you should do is do the whole drink, and then have the cans
and
of
then add in
Red Bull and crack them as you go, so you can keep that freshness.
and that's what I did. I was thinking about logistics because for the last couple of years I've made drinks at G Fest.
Yeah.
Thinking about like how could some of these things work and be possibly portable, and like can this stuff fit in the fridge and everything.
Yeah.
So and like I'm designing things for the next G Fest, trying to think of how they could work, how I could keep
There's
these
plenty of
ingredients.
cocktails like that. They're called fridge door cocktails, and
Mm,
basically it's a pre-mixed balanced cocktail, much like an old fashioned or a Negroni or something like that, where you can pre-mix equal parts. Doesn't have to go into like dilution with the ice or anything. You put it into a bottle, and you're done. You mix everything, shake it up, done. Keep it in your fridge when you want to drink. Pull that thing out, throw some ice in the cup. That's your fridge door cocktail.
our our fridge door cocktail, we call it a bucket. Um,
Okay, yeah.
which is it's all the rejects. Like we'll make something, we're like, oh, it's not quite right, and instead
Uh-huh.
of pouring it down the sink and wasting it, unless it's like really bad,
Yeah.
or like drink it all, we just pour it in a thing, and it's usually blue, and it's this big jug of blue that we just pour. Like, yep, let's get some
Blue
blue.
curacao.
It's usually a lot of blue curacao. Um,
Yeah. That
come on.
sounds like a speed rail shot or a suicide shot. Have you ever had one of those?
No.
Uh, well, if you want an experience, go to your local dive bar and ask for a suicide shot or a speed rail shot. And what they will do is see this little rubber that they usually call these speed rails.
Oh.
And so when they're making drinks,
Oh no.
juice, liquor, and everything goes into the speed rail. And so what they do is they take that and then they just empty it into a shot glass, and that's what you get.
Pass.
Come on, you gotta live a little.
I drink a lot of nonsense. That's at least I have a line. That's my line. There it is.
Come on, Adam. We'll go to a bar when you come down to All Monsters Attack.
And All Monsters Attack.
Yes, and we'll go to a dirty dive.
Is that legal?
All right, Ultraman drink now.
Ultraman, you said Collins, right?
So we're gonna go with a Collins glass. I gotta remember all these ingredients now.
Yeah, I go back and I watch. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to make that thing, and I have to go watch my old videos to find the recipes.
So we're gonna start out with Roku gin. Nice, delicious Japanese gin.
And how much?
We're gonna do 1.5 ounces.
1.5 ounces.
And no, I said to dial it back a bit, but let's just do 1.5 ounces for tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a 1/2 ounce of Campari. This guy right here.
Said 1/2 ounce?
Yes, 1/2 ounce.
Perfect.
And then we are going to do 1 full lime, squeezed. Put that up.
I squeezed mine just before the stream because I knew I was
awesome.
a huge mess here. Because I know me.
Just have it squirt everywhere.
There we go.
Alrighty. And let's see what's next. Strawberry syrup. So how I made this stuff was very sugary. Like I did just a regular simple syrup, 1 cup of water and demerara, turbinado sugar, and then I just pureed 1 cup of strawberry and then emulsified it and simmered it. So we are going to just do 1/4 of an ounce of our strawberry simple syrup.
There we go. We've been loving this stuff. After I made it, because I was using just the store bought, just whatever strawberry. You're like, no, it's got to be fresh.
No, don't do that.
Definitely.
Make
I mean, like,
make it fresh.
Yeah, always fresh. Fresh is best. Fresh is better.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that on like every cocktail channel I watch. But also, it's expensive, and you got to go and get the thing, and then it doesn't last very long.
Mm-hmm.
But it's worth the time and money.
Yes,
because this was full, and we've been using it.
Oh wow!
I'm like, stop. We need to save this for Wednesday. It's really good. We've just been like adding it to little things like gin and tonic, a little bit of strawberry.
Oh, perfect. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Just a little splash. Next, we're gonna do one dash orange bitters.
Orange bitters.
And then we're going to do 1 dash of Angostura or old-fashioned bitters.
Well, that's a fancy bottle.
Yeah, you can actually buy like a 3-pack on Amazon.
Ooh.
I think it's like $10-15.
That's not bad.
It's pretty cool. All right, we're going to grab 1 rock, throw it in the tin.
No.
Oh no! You spill everything?
Yep.
All right, I'll wait for you while you remake it.
Oh no. Let me put my phone in some rice real quick.
I'll do my infomercial right now, and I'll show everybody the figures again. All right, so this is Gabora. This is the painted version. This is the prototype. This is what is currently on our Kickstarter right now. Don't pay attention to Adam running around trying to clean up everything. This is our Ultraman figure. This is a 3D printed Paint Master prototype. And this is our Gamora figure. A little behind the scenes story. I had to paint all these freehand, and I probably fucked it up about 20 times. So I finally got it right, and I feel like I can do those red lightning bolts in my sleep now.
See, I knew at some point there would be spillage, so I put my laptop up on a riser.
Oh, yeah, good
Just
idea.
keep safe. So laptop is safe. Almost ready. Thank you for your patience.
Alrighty. Let's look at the chat. The moonshine! Matt remembers the moonshine.
Oh
Yes.
God, the moonshine.
I had a cup of that stuff at G-Fest, and then I was like, all right, thanks. I appreciate that. I know where the night's going to go if I have another cup, and I don't want to go there.
Yeah, that was a problem.
It was a lot of fun, though.
I had a great time.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's speed run through that one more time. Let's see if I can do that from memory. So, 1.5 ounces of Roku Gin. 1.5. Then we are going to want a 1/2 ounce of Campari.
Right on.
All right.
You're on target. You're on target.
Then a 1/4 ounce of the strawberry syrup. There we go. Then 1 dash orange bitters and 1 dash Angostura. Did I miss anything? Oh, the lime.
Yeah. 1 whole lime juice.
1 full lime. Well, good thing I did a couple of limes. Grab my lime juice.
Who is the Daikaiju party?
The awesome Daikaiju party. That's where I want to be.
Yeah.
Kind of where we are right now.
This is where we're at right now, yeah.
Welcome. I feel like there's a lot of people who I know their human names, and then I know their screen names, but I don't connect the two.
Oh, it's basically all screen names for me these days. It's like, are you so and so, like Kaiju fan 1972?
Okay, and ice and okay. Now it's sealed.
All right, so sealed. Let's shake it up. So we are going to pour into our Collins glass with ice.
All right.
Ooh, doggy.
So that's a much more like natural red.
Yes, this is.
It's like it's an edible looking red.
Yeah. It's like
'Cause
a nice little pink.
Yeah. Because for those who've watched my channel before, I do a lot with like food coloring.
Mhm.
So this is like it's a more natural color. It's not
Yeah.
saturated.
Then we're gonna take our yuzu citrus soda. This stuff is awesome, by the way.
It's right. I
It's
bought two
so
cases.
good.
We went through one of them already.
I drank 2 of them before, and then I had to go to the store to go get more.
Yep.
So we are going to top with some of this soda. We can stir it up just a little bit, mix it up. And then we are going to garnish with some persimmon and lime.
Unless you're me and you forgot to actually place the order to get those.
Ah, it's totally fine. Totally fine.
I went to check on. I'm like, okay, let me see the tracking. I'm like, oh, it's still in the cart. Well,
Oh,
never mind.
so I got these cool little cocktail skewers with the little blue ball to kind of symbolize the ultra timer.
I
And
love
I
that.
thought I was looking up E.G. Tsuburaya's like history, and he was born in Fukushima, Japan, and one of their local fruits that they grow is persimmons. And so I found these candied dehydrated persimmons, and like when I pull them out of the bag, like they all look like crazy weird shapes, and they kind of all look like kaiju faces. So I thought that was pretty cool. And so I just made a little garnish with persimmon and a lime and the Ultraman.
Yeah, that's ultra timer. That's so clever. Well,
There you
cheers.
go. Cheers. Oh, that's trouble.
That's
That's trouble. It's gonna make me feel like I can fight kaiju.
that. But for 3 minutes, and then you're out.
Just 3 minutes. You got me for 3 minutes. You ain't going nowhere.
This is my wife and I. When we're like mixing drinks at home, usually it's a lot of nonsense. But sometimes we'll make something we're like, oh, that's a $16 cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're at a restaurant, that's on the menu. That's $16. And this is
So I've got it somewhere, but I have a black cocktail book. So I would suggest keeping one at your bar. So every time you have an idea or one hits, just write it down. Even if it's a cocktail that's already been made, a Rob Roy or whatever. Like if it tastes good, just write it down so you have that right at your bar at all times.
Oh yeah, I've got notes on my phone. I got to consolidate it into one thing, but it's like every device. I'm like I've got stuff. I have whenever I do a recipe on the channel, if it's like a riff on something else, I'll definitely say that. But I always look it up to see if like A, is the name already taken? B, is this a thing? And like, because I don't want to be like, oh, I came up with this thing, and someone's like, that's a Paloma.
Yeah. I mean that is the difficulty with making, more unique drinks and like inventing stuff. Is that there are so many people, there are so many bars, there's like even the stuff that we're doing right now, like at our houses. I feel like almost every drink has probably been made already.
Yeah,
But it just depending on how you make it and your thoughts behind it will make it its own thing.
Yeah.
Go back to toys. Everybody has made. A lot of people have made a turtle toy. A lot of people have made their slinky lizard that breathes fire toy, and it's cool seeing everybody's like different take on something or a concept or a motif, as long as it's not like a total bite from something else, but like their own interpretation and their own style and their own aesthetic behind it.
Yeah, and like the Gamora. This I think is my favorite Gamora figure. Like the design, like I've seen a lot of Gamora figures, and the design never really did all that much for me. So I have a few. I've got like the Cyber Gamora and the
Mhm.
prehistoric one or whatever that was.
Yeah.
But then seeing this figure, I'm like, that's it. That's the one. That's the Gamora that I want. And but like you're saying, there's so many out there, but like each puts your own style on it.
Yeah.
And that I'm
You
like
can-
that one.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about that one. It's just really charming.
Thank you. I'm super happy with it. We're going for kind of a chibi kawaii type of feel, but also, keeping it more closer to the television show.
Yeah,
So trying to
it looks
match
like it's a
those
suit.
two. Yeah,
It's got that element to it.
yeah.
That I'm like,
There could
okay, that's
be a
good.
really chubby dude in there, just hanging out.
Yeah, just like, hey, I'm in the thing. Oh, someone says I see a green boy in the background. Which are you talking about? Ragnar? Oh yeah, see this? It looks like it's like this dude just chilling
Yeah.
in the suit, like
It's just a dude. He's tired. He's just sitting down. He's just like, ugh, it's hot. It's hot in
right?
here.
It's hot in that suit. I feel that from. So Daikaiju Party, which green boy are you talking? The frilled green boy or the shelled green boy? And I see a coaster in the background there.
Oh yeah, man. I had to
Oh,
show some love.
thank you. I like that. I'm a part of your bar now.
Oh yeah, man. When I started putting stuff together for this bar, I had this concept of alien. So I wanted to make a bar that was, inspired by the movie Alien, but and just have a bunch of awesome xenomorph figures and like the original suits and like the NECA figures.
And I saw the reactions behind you.
Yeah, I've got some reactions right here. And on this wall, there's like diagrams of like the radar, movement reader. But I'm eventually gonna get some like more indoor plants that look like extraterrestrial, like all weird, and have them hang down. But yeah, it was just like, what would a bar look like on that ship? Just like in some, shipping custodial room where they keep brooms and stuff. And like, this is it. And just have like a little sign that says private bar.
I love it. I love it. Like, welcome to the Nostromo. Here we go.
Uh-huh. What would you like? I distill this stuff to clean the engines. That's all I have. Would you care for a protein waffle? I stole them from the commissary.
Don't mind the cat.
Yeah, cat's pretty cool. The cat owns the bar.
I've got my cat around here. Oh, she's sleeping. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
She likes to hop up back here sometimes and do stuff.
Awesome. What kind of cat do you have?
Calico.
Yes, I've got a calico too.
We got her a few years back. 2 years, 3 years. Like through a friend of a friend and a neighbor and a whole thing, and like they rescued him from something, and they're like, who do you know who needs a cat? And we're like, we don't. We already have one. But we'll just go and take a look. And if ever you're like going to go take a look at an animal, you are coming home with that animal.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
It's just giving you that look like, what are we doing? Let's go. Come on.
Yep. We're like, okay.
Where's your car?
She was tiny and she was covered in fleas, but she was also like a little monster.
Mm.
So we named her Catrick Bateman. I don't know if anyone out there has seen American Psycho.
Yeah.
But
was she trying to return some videotapes?
Yes. So we put up by, she's got like this cat tower, and right next to it we have a little replica of the business card, like framed right up there from the movie. So it's
Is it subtle eggshell white?
the font called Cillian Rail. Like, why do we know these things? We remember these quotes from the movie. I don't know where I put my keys.
Dude, me and Wes will talk for the whole day just in Madonna lyrics and quotes from movies. It's just like us just screaming at each other just insanely, just as different characters from different movies.
I love it.
He's one of, yeah, it's insane. I'm sure you'll be able to keep up.
Oh yeah, I love it.
It's really good.
Okay,
I'm
well,
really happy with this
question.
thing.
Yeah. The what?
Yeah, go on.
No, okay. So, Aliens is not strictly kaiju, but you do have like man in suit monster action,
Yes.
which is a staple of tokusatsu.
I think it's like tokusatsu on a small scale. So if let's say Aliens, when Ripley gets into the power loader
Yeah.
and then she's fighting the alien queen, that right there is a total tokusatsu moment of just like mecha robot versus the unknown alien creature invader, and the stakes are high. You got to protect the city. I got to survive. I got to fight this thing and blow it through the airlock.
That right? And it's stuff like that where I start designing cocktails. It's usually sometimes it's a name, sometimes it's an ingredient, sometimes it's something. But like Power Loader, great name for a drink, I think.
Man,
and then I start picturing
what would Power Loader be?
I don't know, but it's yellow, and you take like lemon peel, and then you cut the clamps out, and then stick those on the sides. So then I'm like, okay, I have the name, I know what it looks like. What's yellow, or what can I make yellow?
Yeah, what says yellow? Is it lemon? Is it there's pears? There's certain melons that are yellow.
Well, it's also
there's
how
cloud
saturated
berries.
do we want the yellow to be?
Yeah. I feel like a power loader is just like another name for a boilermaker, just a shot at a beer, just like
boom,
just slam them.
Okay.
Yeah, like what would a drink be for the person who drives a power loader all day? Like, would that just be a shot of beer? Would it just be something quick and easy?
That's a good question. Okay, Awesome Kaiju Party says, I'm here for kaiju, not whatever you two are talking about. We are, okay. What is not why I come here. Okay. You want to talk kaiju.
All right. What's the kaiju topic that you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Awesome Kaiju Party.
Let me refresh the Kickstarter. If we can get to, over the course of this stream, if we can get to 5,000, I'll do a shot.
Where are we at right now?
Luckily the numbers are the same in Chinese. 4,786.
786. All right. We got to get those numbers up, people. Start calling your friends.
Yes.
Last Bastion Studios needs you. Octeil says, I'm here for Don Fry. We're all here for Don Fry and that iron curtain of a mustache that he dons on his face.
I got him to sign one of my cups.
That's so fucking cool. That's awesome.
I'm gonna. So when I met him, because I met him at previous G Fests, so like I already have his autograph and stuff. Like what I still, I love talking to the dude. For anyone who's ever met him or seen him or heard about him, like he's a character. And like, I mean, Octeil, you were in line, you were like 3 people ahead of me, and he's like pointing at little kids, like, yeah, get your ass over here, and like, so good. So I'm like, if you could sign one of my cups, this would be like my whiskey drinking cup. I know it's plastic, but whatever. But then, so I get over there, he's got a glass of something, and I'm like, okay, is that V8 or is that a Bloody Mary? He goes, oh, bloody. I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, let me give you a coaster because I had coasters in my backpack. I'm like,
Yeah.
here. And then he does a double take at the logo. He's like, really, he was kind of interested, so we got to talking
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
And then I showed him one of the Final Wars drinks that I made with the
Oh,
Godzilla
nice.
frozen in the ice
Yeah,
cube.
yeah.
And he was like, Colin, I don't remember his name, his manager, the other person who was working with him. And he's like, that's a great idea. I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna come up with that idea tomorrow. So if you ever see that on Don Fry's social media,
We know that Don Fry beat you up in the parking lot for it.
yeah. Shots regardless. I mean,
Yes.
we'll see.
All
We'll see
right,
what
let's
happens
do
after
it.
this one.
I'm not
I gotta
driving.
catch up. That's good. See, I was never like a Campari. There's a lot of things in my
Yeah.
I don't want to say like drinking journey, but also like, yeah, the more I learn about different ingredients and stuff, Campari was never, because I gravitate towards like extremely sweet stuff, like blue curacao, Midori, all those kind of things. And then so having something that's technically a bitters,
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh. And like the first time I made a Negroni, I'm like, oh, Stanley Tucci loves it, and I gotta love it. And I'm like, oh. And then I hand it to my wife. She's like, yes, we need this all the time, forever. So,
It's
so we
one
got
of my favorite
Aperol,
drinks. It's one of my favorite drinks when done well.
the Negroni.
Yeah, Negroni. It's super easy. Gin, Campari, and sweet vermouth.
Yeah, and it's just
Equal
one.
parts.
Do you do 1-1-1?
Yeah, that's all you do. And then throw some ice and like a orange peel on there, and then you're set.
But I like those because they're not like dangerous drinks. Like you can taste. It's exactly. It's all alcohol.
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff I make is dangerous. People say it's dangerous.
You put a little too much in there and hide it with sugar.
And that's. I mean, not like on purpose, but also like, I don't want it to taste like hand sanitizer.
True.
But that's
where,
also because I don't balance it well. So it's just like
that's where the art is, man. You got to become a scientist. You have to start mixing sugars, bitters.
Well, that's why
alcohol.
when I do Jello shots, I
Mhm.
do, and this seems backwards, a little extra alcohol so that you don't have as much. Because I've been to a lot of parties where there's Jello shots and people have a ton of Jello shots and then they get sick because they can't taste
Oh,
that
because all the
alcohol.
sugar and all the
So I put like enough where like you have that and you're like, oh yeah, there's alcohol in there, and then you have less because you can better gauge how much you've had, and you can tell there's definitely something in there, which seems counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But also,
But I get what you're doing, though.
Yeah.
I get what you're doing.
I want people
Something
to
that
be,
just came in my head. So dessert shots. I'm sure this sounds gross, but like a tres leches cake, but a boozy one. Like, how can you do that?
I love that's one thing my favorite way to do drinks is to take a dessert and be able to get drunk from it. I've done a few. I did one of my favorite I think one of the best recipes I've ever made was the carrot cake cocktail.
I'm gonna have to look that one up. That sounds interesting. Tell me about it.
I would love for you to make it and tell me what tweaks it needs. I spent months on that.
Yeah.
I love carrot. I'm not the only one to have done a carrot cake cocktail. There's tons of recipes out there, but they all are basically just the carrot cake frosting, which is delicious. But I'm like, that's not a carrot cake cocktail. That's a cream cheese frosting cocktail.
Yeah.
Which I still love, but I'm like, you can't have a carrot cake cocktail without carrot. So I'm like one of the only recipes out there that uses carrot juice in the cocktail.
Okay.
But like we were talking about earlier, it was like, okay, I need an extra quarter ounce of this and like a little bit less of that. And what if I bring in this other thing? And
that sounds fun.
It tastes like liquid carrot cake.
Well, what's the base liquor or spirit that you use?
Oh gosh, what did I put in it? Now I have to look it up. But I've done that. I've done key lime pie. I did donut, glazed donut.
That sounds like some nonsense.
That one is a little nonsense. I feel like it's not quite right, but it's as close as I could get with like the time frame I'd given myself. Because I did that to go along with The Fly.
Okay.
Because there's that part he's eating like an entire box of donuts, or he's vomiting on it and then eating it, that whole thing. So I'm like, okay, I have until October to figure this out. But yeah, that one's a little odd. And again, like a lot of these dessert cocktails or based on desserts, there are recipes out there, but I'm like, that's not quite like a lot of the donut ones. It's chocolate donut, so really it's just a chocolate with some other stuff. And I'm like, no, I want a glazed donut, not a chocolate frosted donut.
Yeah,
which is it's a weird thing to be like
glazed donut.
Yeah,
not just a chocolate cake or chocolate funnel cake.
Yes, yeah, you get it.
I get it. I know what you're talking about.
It had there was a vanilla liqueur, amaretto, like a rum cream, like rum chata, and then bourbon cream and carrot juice.
Shaken over ice, or how'd you serve it?
I think it was shaken over ice.
That sounds crazy. That sounds crazy. But
it's a lot of ingredients. I did have. Sorry.
No, I'm down for it. I want to make this now.
One of my coworkers. I haven't had a lot of people actually like making the recipes and then telling me, "Hey, I tried this," and sending pictures.
Yeah.
It's been 2.5 years of the channel. I've had maybe 3 people tell me they've actually made something from it. But one of those people was like one of my coworkers, and she's like, I went out to get the ingredients. It was, like $150 worth of stuff.
Oh shit!
But I'm like, yeah, and that's one thing that is not a problem with the channel, but kind of guided the channel is like I'm trying to make things affordable for some. Like if you try it and you don't like it, then you've just spent a lot of money on something that.
Yeah,
like, what are you
want
to
make it easy enough for the everyman to pick up at the local supermarket,
exactly,
and not have to go to specialty stores and spend hundreds of dollars just to make one drink
and not break the bank. And like, so I'm imagining like, okay, what would I do if I look at a recipe and it calls for a Roku gin? I might get a cheaper gin because I'm a cheaper person, and it's gonna taste different. I mean, obviously, there's a reason these things cost a little bit more. But I usually test out my recipes with different price points of ingredients. And if it can still work close enough with the cheapest ingredient, then I'm like, yeah, that works. Because I don't want someone to go out and like try the recipe, but with the lowest end ingredient and be like, oh, this is disgusting.
Right.
Yeah, because you got $5 tequila. Tequila, that's like one of the only ones. That's the biggest one for me. I'm like, spend the money.
Yeah.
The cheapest tequilas are disgusting.
It's you get what you pay for. Your hangovers are worse with the cheaper stuff. I'd say if you're gonna imbibe and have a drink or 2 or 3 or however many that you're gonna do, treat yourself. Have a nice time.
Yeah.
Make it nice.
And like I didn't realize how different Aperol and Campari were.
They're completely different.
They're completely different.
Completely different.
Because I'd been making things that call for Campari with Aperol.
I think that's a cool twist, and I think it will work in a lot of ways. But you immediately change the gear from the bitterness and like the rind citrus flavors into the more fruit side of the citrus, and depending on the liquor and like whatever else, I mean the spirits and whatever else you're mixing into it, will just turn it from night to day, like almost immediately.
Yeah, it was definitely different when I got like, because if you're at the liquor store, for anyone who's done this, and you're like, you see all the different kinds on the shelf, you're like, this is $35 a bottle. This is 17.
Yeah,
17.
Yeah.
But they're different. So
I would say, if you're gonna build a bar and like collect alcohol or bottles, try and buy something every other paycheck or every paycheck, and by the end of the year, you're gonna have a full bar.
Yeah.
You don't need to buy everything like all at once.
Well, I oftentimes, if it's an ingredient that I either A, know is expensive, or B, I'm not quite sure about, I'll order a drink with it when I'm at a bar or restaurant, so I can like taste it like in context, or
Yeah.
I'll get like a mini bottle of it at the liquor store.
Uh-huh.
Like, sure, it might be $5 for the little thing, but that's better
Yeah.
than 45, for the full thing.
It's the investment,
Yeah.
Just get a sample of it. Ready for the next one?
Ooh, yes.
Alrighty.
Is this the Ragnar?
This is the Ragnar.
All right. So
We're
while we're
going
getting
to
that set up, let me
yes.
grab.
Get your ingredients ready.
All right. Glass is ready.
Glass is ready. All right, so we're gonna do 2 ounces of scotch.
2 ounces scotch.
Yeah,
Do I
I'm
have that much
doing
scotch?
Glenfiddich. This is a really nice one. You don't have to go this nice, but I do like my scotch. So
See, here's the problem. I'm not a scotch person. I'm using up the last of this. My wife has. We've got a bunch of scotch,
uh-huh.
but that's my wife, and I don't want to use her stuff until she gets home.
Yeah.
Be like, I'll make this for you. So hopefully this is good. I don't know if you've had this brand. I don't know much about scotch.
I don't know. I don't recognize that.
Okay, so it's probably really cheap.
It could be,
I think this was like one of the
or it
earliest
could
ones.
be very expensive. I don't know.
Yeah, and this is going into the shaker.
This is going directly into the shaker. 2
Okay.
ounces.
Do I have? Is there enough? Oh, just under 2 ounces. Okay.
I think you'll be fine.
Okay.
So then we're gonna squeeze 1 full lime
Do I have any lime left?
into this as well.
I do. I've got a little bit of lime left. Oh. I don't remember what got my wife into scotch. I know one of our friends always had some scotch on hand, and
Yeah.
Oh gosh, what was it? Lafroig, I think.
Lefroy, yeah, that's a very peaty medicinal.
Oh, yeah. The
Not
peatiness.
my favorite scotch.
Like it tastes
but
like tires. Like what?
yes, yes,
Yes.
that is
You say
correct.
yes so positively.
Yeah.
You're like, yes, that's the flavor I want.
You are exactly correct. It does taste like new tires. Kind of gross. Not my favorite.
She's like, yeah, I want a peaty scotch. I want a hoppy IPA. I'm like, I want the fruitiest, brightest thing you can get. I want a sword through some fruit slices. I want it to light up. We are 2 worlds apart.
I mean, that's kind of cool, though. I mean, you guys taste each other's drinks all the time, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And oftentimes there is a middle of the Venn diagram where we're out at a restaurant and I'm like, I can't decide between these two. She's like, I can't decide between these two, and we're like, yes, this one, there's overlap.
Yeah.
Get those. But oftentimes, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go on. Me and my girlfriend Viviana, we pick out a couple drinks, and we were like, oh, okay, I really want this one and this one, but also this one, but also this one. So we'll get the 2, and then drink half, and then switch,
And then
taste test and sample, just to experience the whole menu and see what's out there, and see what
exactly. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Next.
So we've got our scotch and our lime in. Next, we're going to do 3/4 of an ounce of that matcha ginger honey.
Yes. Which I made. Hopefully, I made this right.
Yeah. Does it look like Dagobah?
It's Yeah,
Yes.
I love that description.
Yes.
You're like, I'm stirred up till it looks like Dagobah. I'm like, that's
Yep.
good.
That's exactly what it's supposed to be. Spicy. It's supposed to
Oh yeah,
be
I made the mistake of
smoky and
licking the
muggy.
spoon earlier. I'm like, oh, that is ginger. That's
Yeah.
a real deal.
All right. So once you've got everything into the tin, add some ice. We're gonna shake, and then we're gonna strain directly into the glass.
All right, is there ice in the glass?
Yes, ice in the glass.
Okay. Water.
Alrighty.
Ooh. And again, a very natural looking color. And this one, did we say the name for this one?
What's up?
Did we say the name for this one?
Oh, I just call it the Ragnar.
The Ragnar.
Yeah, the Ragnar.
I have
And then
not.
we're
So
gonna
I
take
tasted the other
some.
ones.
We're gonna take some rosemary sprig, and then a lime wheel, just like that. And we're just gonna lay it right on top.
So I have a lime wheel. Don't have the rosemary because apparently my Target
Okay.
doesn't sell that. And when I went to Fred Meyer, there were a bunch of like police cruisers and stuff. There was something going on.
Oh,
I'm gonna go home.
yeah. Next
Go.
time. I
Next time.
stole this from my neighbor's lawn.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Oh my god.
Magnificent.
And you came up with this.
Yes.
I quit. Too good.
It's a riff on a penicillin, but using the matcha and ginger and lime, it switches it up a little bit, and brings instead of the lemon in the penicillin, the lime has a different like kind of bite, a little tenacity with its citrus, and it will elevate that part of it. But then you've got the honey and the matcha, which has this weird earthy undertone. So you have these high notes of that citrus, but also that softness and that mellowness of the matcha and the honey.
This is really good. This is Scotch. This is my favorite Scotch drink ever. Not
Awesome.
that I've had. Not that I gravitate towards that and get
Yeah.
that a lot, but like when we were at, I think I sent you pictures. We were at the Mopop in Seattle
Yeah.
the other weekend, and I tried a few, and that's what I try to do when I'm out and about, like things I cannot make at home, because I'll get like really cocky. I'm like punch my wife like, oh, I can make that.
Yeah.
But I get things like ingredients I've either never heard of or don't currently have, or like have been wanting to try. And yeah, so there was this other Scotch thing, and I think that's what we're talking about. Like dilution is huge,
Mhm.
and I
It's
see,
huge.
yeah,
It will change a drink completely.
I see a lot of like um, cocktail reels on Instagram, and they're like they fill up a whole pint glass with like the small tiny cubes. I'm like, it's too much ice.
No.
No,
Unless you're like trying to do a smash or a bramble, the tiny cubes or the crushed ice is like perfect, because that drink is meant to be imbibed and drank in like high heat. So you're drinking it quickly. So it's super chilled,
that's
and you're gonna be drinking it quickly, not just sitting and lounging with it. And the dilution is gonna be uh there's going to be some in the beginning when the alcohol hits. I mean that when the drink hits the crushed ice.
yeah.
But then since you're drinking it so fast, it's not going to be hanging out and getting really watery. Really
Right, and
diluted.
that's the thing. So with this drink that I had, it was pretty potent. So it's definitely
Mhm.
like a slow sip drink, and by the end, a
Yeah.
lot of that had melted and was too diluted.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts of a drink is getting an old fashioned with a big ass rocks cube and drinking it halfway, but also having the ice melt with it and dilute the drink. So like, sure, the first part of the drink was very spirit forward, very heavy, just like any stirred cocktail. But also, once it's diluted and you're sipping it with the water mixed into it, it's almost more floral and aromatic and kind of just light and pleasant, and you get away from all the rich caramels, and that now you're focusing on all the bitters and the orange peel and everything else that's in that drink.
That's I love that. Oh, I love the way you approach mixology.
Well, it's just sense and taste and experience and kind of just being in tune with all that stuff. And everybody's got a different palate.
Yeah.
What tastes good to you will taste awful to the next person. I think there's a lot of averages and parallels and common ground that a lot of people can meet and stand on and have a drink, mutually. But there's some stuff like the heavy, crazy, over 150 IBU internet like IPA beers out there where it's like, man, your tongue can only register 60 IBU units, like international bitter units, and you're drinking this beer that has over like 150. Like what? What the hell is going on with you?
Right. I mean, like I used to, when we'd go out, I'd get Long Island's, AMFs, trash cans.
Mhm.
I'm a big sucker for novelty. I think
Yeah.
is a huge thing. Do you have? I don't know if it's regional. The Rock
Possibly. I mean,
restaurant.
there's tons of crazy shit in the LA bar scene. So,
It's
what's it doing?
a restaurant called The Rock.
Mhm.
And one of the things they have, one of their drinks, it's a lava lamp, and it's served in a lava lamp shaped like plastic container, and it lights up from the bottom. And then they've also got like these Jello shots and syringes, and you get to keep the syringe. I'm like, yep, I'm buying it. I don't care what it tastes like. I get to keep a syringe. But then they put some of that in there as like the lava, and I'm like, I don't care what this tastes like. I need like 7 of them. I need one in every color.
I immediately think that that's going to be a problem. Whoever drinks this is going to be a problem for the rest of the night.
I think I still have some of the Let me see if I can find one.
Yes, please bring me your lava.
I have. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm on the other side of the kitchen. But I've got like shelves in here just full of novelty drinkware.
Brad,
I had to.
I'll imagine it from over here.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can grab it. There it is. Lava lamp. Rock. Okay. Can I get down? Yes.
Don't fall. Don't die. I won't be able to turn the live stream off.
You'll hear the paramedics come in, and
I'll be
That would be
watching
a
the
show.
whole thing, just like, oh god damn it.
this is still
That's
light up.
crazy.
Oh, it does still light up. It's a lava lamp.
It's set to stun.
That's So yeah, when I see stuff like this at restaurants, I'm like, yep. If it comes in a souvenir container, I'm buying it. They also have little buckets, and they're sold with little shells.
Yeah, that sounds pretty crazy.
It's I mean, it's nonsense thrown together.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you're saying, there's different preferences and
Yeah,
palates.
I mean, sometimes you need a little bit of nonsense in your life.
You need
It's
a little
like-
nonsense in your life.
Yeah. Every now and
You
then
know
you gotta
what?
drink from a shoe.
I'm sorry. Did you say shoe?
Yeah. Have you ever drank Bailey's from a shoe?
No. Is this a thing? Are you making this up, or is this a
No,
thing?
no, no. You're gonna have to look that up on YouTube once this is done. Yeah, or just type in Old Greg.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's. I
It's
remember.
gonna be a life-changing moment, and
That's
it's gonna be in your head forever and ever and ever.
Bailey's from a shoe.
And I'm glad
Oh,
that I'm gonna bestow that knowledge upon you of Old Greg.
oh no. I haven't thought about old Greg in ages. This is good.
Thanks, man.
And I love, like, earlier we were talking, and it sounds like we have similar, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not Venn, flow chart.
Yeah.
Like, you start with one ingredient, and then you have all these branches of, like, what works well with this, and then you
Yeah.
can go. We're like, okay, gin, then we've got these things. Okay, strawberry, we got these things. Um, that's cool. That's cool. Like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I've been wanting to make a poster of that I can then refer to, but I'm like, that's going to be way too complicated. Or will
Well,
it?
I think kind of like the rule of thumb, or at least depending on like how you're working with an idea, is always think about your base, and the spirit is usually always the base if you're making an alcoholic cocktail. So of course you can have other spirits in there, but you want to make sure like who's the one holding the flag, who's leading the charge. Is it scotch, whiskey, vodka, gin, mezcal, sake? Like what are you working with as the base? And then you have to play with the different flavors, the bitters and the aromatics to like balance and kind of like help each other along. You don't want to just do a scotch that is a complex spirit that has a lot of notes and flavors and then just cover it in orange juice
This, yeah.
and call it a day. Because the orange juice is so overpowering and sweet, and you know what it is. It's going to cover all the fun little nuances and little flavors of what the scotch can bring to the table. So you just have to balance it. But if you are
Balance is
looking for a
one.
drink
Yeah.
to cover up and just have booze in it, vodka is the key. And you throw that
I
in.
rum.
Yeah.
It's rum for me. Vodka for me. I feel like I taste, and probably because I'm buying bad vodkas, but they taste just so chemically to me.
Yeah, you're probably buying bad vodka.
That's what. Yeah.
By definition, vodka is supposed to be odorless, tasteless, and clear, indiscernible from any other alcohol. Like that is the definition.
Well,
So yeah, it's like uh my favorite vodka actually right now is just this Trader Joe's,
ooh.
this right here. It's just like 10, 12 bucks. It's solid. It doesn't taste like crap, or you don't have to run it a couple times through a Brita filter. It's
Well,
easy.
like part
It's
of,
vodka.
if you're so used to what's the do you watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I haven't really watched past season 5 or 6,
Okay.
so
There's
I know that there's a lot
so
past
you're
that.
aware of the characters.
Yes.
There's an
Yeah.
episode where they're on a cruise ship and they see like bottles of like orange juice and like cola and stuff, and they drink it and they're like, "Oh, what's wrong with this?" And they're like, "Oh, there's no alcohol in it. It's like it's mixer. Who
Yeah.
drinks straight mixer?"
Yeah.
And I've gone to like start calling things mixers that are just normal things that you drink, like orange juice.
Mhm.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a mixer now. But like when you're so used to drinking that, and then you put vodka or something in it, it's not. It's clearly it's not going to taste the same, even though it's supposed to be
Yeah.
odorless and tasteless. There's enough of that in there that it's going to change the flavor
Yeah.
once
It's
you
gonna
know.
definitely change the flavor. Yeah.
Yeah, especially like if you have a glass of orange juice every morning, kind of thing. Once you have a screwdriver, you're like, this is different.
Obviously, there's been a problem. I mean,
Yeah,
there is a mistake that has happened.
my wife loves screwdrivers. Like,
I Not so much.
yeah,
Not for me.
not for me. I don't know what, like when she started getting into scotches and IPAs, but this is within the past few years. We had at our wedding, we had like bride and groom cocktails, um, and hers hers was like the clear favorite because mine was it was called There Goes Tokyo, and it was I think it was
Godzilla
Midori.
guy goes rah.
Rah! Oh yeah, some Raz in the chat. I feel like Kaiju live in here. Godzilla guy, how you doing? It's nice to meet you at G Fest. Whoop! Someone wants a drink.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So there goes Tokyo. So it was blue curacao, the melon liqueur. I think it was like Sprite or some similar lemon lime soda, and then I think a little bit of lime juice. It was either lime or lemon. I don't remember. It was a bright teal, and like it turned your tongue teal. I had a great time on it. But
That sounds like. I mean no offense by this,
do it.
but it sounds
Go.
like a 13-year-old's idea of an adult beverage. But like, and there's ska playing in the background where it's like, I'm gonna have one of these and be an adult.
You are not at all wrong. It's like I'm like if I feel like the drinks I make, if you love McNuggets,
Yes,
then these are the cocktails for you.
I'm right behind you on that.
I take no offense
sure.
by
Yeah.
any of that. I am well aware. And that was it was a similar drink to I don't remember who I heard this from, but that's what introduced me to both of these ingredients. Someone introduced me to a drink they called the Stingray. I don't know if that's an actual thing or a name they made up on the spot.
Uh-huh.
That's in like my early days of drinking. And there was one place I ordered it and they knew exactly what it was, but every other plate, that was like my go-to order at bars. And they're like, "Oh my god, we haven't touched this bottle of Midori in 3 years. Finally someone's using it." But like most places were like, "I have no idea what that is." And I would just say like, "Oh, it's got this and that and the other thing." And they're like, "Sure, I can whip that up." And it was basically it was that I think it was grenadine, maybe like a splash of that in there or something. It was extremely sweet, and I'm
It
like,
sounds like it. It sounds just like
it's like
candy.
yeah, it's drinking candy exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's it's bright teal, and I'm like, yep, that's it, that's good. I forgot where I was going. Oh yeah. So her drink, the way more popular one
Yeah.
that like they ran out of that one. It was called Fall Flourish, and uh, it was basically a whiskey sour, but with rosemary infused simple syrup.
Okay.
And it
I
was
can see. Were you guys doing with egg or without
no.
egg? Okay.
No egg, just the whiskey, lemon, simple, and then a sprig of rosemary in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that works then. I feel like that works.
It was cool. Like we worked with a bartender, and like kind of went back and forth, and like here's what we're thinking, and like, and they're like, okay, here's my professional opinion on how to do this stuff. But it was cool, like watching them mix it and like bringing in like pallets of rosemary for these, which was really cool. Yeah, hers won. Not that it was a competition, but she brings it up every so often. This is
Well,
really good.
that
Okay.
sounds awesome. I would definitely like to get the recipe for your drink and taste it and see what we can do with it. Because there's a lot of syrups going on. There's a lot of sweetness going on. And I think you just have
Extremely
to
syrupy.
add some bitterness to it to balance it out. Maybe
And
instead
that's
of Sprite, you actually do lemon and lime juice with a
with a club
just like a
or a
club
seltzer.
soda or a soda
Yeah.
water, just to take away from the sweet.
And that's earlier, like I was talking about my cocktail journey, and that's
Mhm.
definitely a thing. Like I've gone back and I've I'm like, oh yeah, I'm craving this thing, and I make a drink I've previously made. I'm like, oh, this is there's something like maybe I made it wrong, but I'm like, no, I've changed, I've grown, I've etc.
Yeah.
And then like I do, things that I used Sprite before, I'll use a seltzer,
Mm.
a little bit of lemon juice. So that's definitely changing.
It's the evolution of the drink, man. When I first started my what's it called? The drink blog, drink website. Basically, the project was called Mixing with Movies, and I would make drinks inspired by movies or the show you recipes of the drinks that actually show up in the famous movies of like the Vesper, the like just the classics and all that stuff. And when I started this project, like I had so many ideas that were just too on the nose. Like this thing is purple, so I have to make it purple. This thing is red, so I have to make it red. And I do see a little bit of that with you, but
I'm so literal.
like there's so many parallels of like where I first started and like on this journey of making drinks and mixing stuff and uh that it's just like, oh, I know exactly where your head's at. I know exactly like the kind of push that you need or like the information that you need to like bring your drinks up to the next level or expand your flavors and stuff like that. Like what one of the first drinks that I was trying to make was all this stuff around Big Trouble in Little China.
Ooh.
So I made one called All in the Reflexes, and it was basically the fight scene of Egg Shen versus Lil Pan. You know, when he was doing the weird thumbs and like Egg Shen is doing his controller. And so it was like the green, the purple, and into a pool of whatever liquor that I thought mixed well. It was basically like uh, the the was it blackberry liqueur and Midori dropped in like vodka or vodka triple sec and like some other random stuff, and it was just
Sounds like something I would do.
2 shots, mix it up. All right, yeah, it's called All the Reflexes. Did you like it? Did you have fun? It's like, no, this is not good. This is far too sweet, far too boozy. What are you trying to do to me?
I've I've made some pretty bad like yeah, I do go pretty literal with a lot of things. I
Yeah,
mean, it started like when I did the channel, it was a lot of color matching, just like straight up like this looks exactly like that.
yeah, it's not a
Uh,
bad thing. It's
and
actually pretty
yeah, like
cool.
I'm like I know, and I mean, you introduced me to like educated bartender and some other things, and I've been following a bunch of different people, and I'm like, how much I want to find a good way to phrase this that's not like insulting to myself, but like clearly there's so much growth that can happen in terms of
Yeah,
like craft mixology, but also I'm basing my drinks on a specific audience, and do I want to go beyond that, or do I want to stay there? Or do I want to do a little bit of both? How
well,
much does it matter?
what I guess thinking about that, you're messing with like primary colors right now.
Yeah,
Red, blue, yellow.
saturated colors.
Yeah, you're messing with primary colors. All the flavors, all the stuff in between that like you have an idea that you want to do, and through experience and through shared knowledge and like looking at YouTube videos and seeing what other people are doing, you're going to be able to dive into like the different spectrum of flavors and drinks and what you're capable of. And I think continuing to do what you are already doing is just making drinks inspired by kaiju and toys and all the awesome things that we all love, is that you're what you could do is find a way to refine and kind of distill in like the most perfect balance of like the primary colors. You know, there's Michelin star restaurants that only cook chicken and rice. They don't need all the other crazy ingredients. It's just that they do chicken and rice so well that they are put on that list. You know, they are a Michelin star restaurant. And I think that right now you're seeing what like the landscape and like what's out there, and you could go into like a really, you know, complex kind of over almost pretentious area of mixing drinks and mixology, and just, you know, have the rolled up sleeves and the suspenders and, oh, I have essence of elderflower in this drink and it's smoked and blah blah blah. Cool, there is a time and place for that stuff, but I don't think you want to live that life of spending thousands of dollars on gadgets and gizmos and smokers and extractors. Like,
not to call certain people pretentious, but also, yeah, I do see a ton of that in like the things that are recommended to me on Instagram. I'm like, no, it's a whiskey sour. Like,
yeah,
chill.
yeah. You know what this is gonna do? It's gonna taste nice, and I'm gonna get a little drunk and have a good time. I mean, I don't need to have like the Monet painted in front of me.
Yes.
There is a time and a place for that. Maybe you're having a very special night and you want some sort of piece of art presented to you before you take a drink. That's cool. But if I am just hanging out with a friend and we're just talking dinosaurs and kaiju and aliens and stuff, I'm just gonna need a 3 or 4 ingredient drink and, you know, have a nice little time.
There you go. Well, like someone said, like, I don't remember, maybe it was my brother, I don't know, but like, if you're having like a Jurassic Park themed party, I'm the channel to go to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's the audience, that's the level. I'm not like, it's the context, I think, is also important. Like,
Yeah.
These are not going to be on a menu at a restaurant or anything. These are like, you'll whip it up at home for a fun night of novelty.
Yeah.
That's the level, and
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. And I definitely want to learn more. I want to improve my craft. Like, at one point, I was thinking about becoming a bartender. You know, I got my, like, you know, my permit and everything.
Yeah.
I've passed the courses. I could do that. I could apply tonight.
Don't do
but-
it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I am terrified.
Yeah. Just
It
go
was
to
like
bar. Just go to
the
bar.
what?
Just go to a bar and enjoy the drinks. Don't become a bartender. Just
I'm like,
Just-
I will work at a liquor store. I will sell people the bottles.
mhm.
I think that's my level. That's
Yeah.
like the liquor store that I frequently go to. One of them was explaining to me, like, oh yeah, you know, I was looking for like a rose liqueur or something, and they were explaining to me. I'm like, yep, I did that. Yeah, I did that. I know I did that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could do this if that's what the job entails. Here's where it is in the store. Here's what you could do otherwise. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I could do that. I could recommend things. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Well, I experience of making drinks and, you know, the stuff that's out there and gaining knowledge and educating yourself.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty exciting that there's so much out there as far as flavors go, as far as, you know, the creative minds. Everybody's got a different take on something, and just visiting a nice craft cocktail bar, or even finding a little dive bar that has their own punch or just random house cocktail is always fun, and it's a great experience. Just seeing everybody's kind of perspective on it.
I remember the first time I looked on a menu and I saw egg white listed as an ingredient. I'm like, what the hell? But now I'm
Whiskey
like,
sour,
yeah,
egg white. That's my jam.
that's
my
I made.
go-to.
It was a Shobijin fizz.
That's good.
Thank you.
Fizzes
Yeah.
are nice with some egg white, and they just drop couple drops of that club soda on there. Nicely
And
set.
that was a, I don't want to say basic, but like based on something else drink that I've done. It's really just it's a gin fizz with a little bit of peach syrup in there. Shove a gin fizz.
Yeah. Why not? It's great.
Right. Oh yeah. You were talking about the movies and mixology and have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite channel in all of YouTube, Martini Shop Blog.
I don't know that one. I'm gonna have to look it up.
It is stupid how I have more subscribers than they do. It's like legitimate, and it's frustrating. Like I am so thankful for all the people who have subscribed, over 1,000 kind of thing.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty awesome.
For something so bizarre. But like
It's your niche, dude. You found it.
yeah. I'm like, I didn't like this was like, obviously I would love to make money on whatever it is, get money coming in kind of thing. But also like that there's enough people to do that is mind boggling.
I think you'll get there, dude. Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean if even 10% of the Jesus Christ, subscribers, I'm gonna have some water.
Yeah. We're boozing it. It's cool.
Then go onto Kickstarter. Look for Ultraman Chibis, officially licensed soft vinyl toys. Pledge, because we haven't moved in the past hour, or at least it hasn't updated for me. I know. I've talked to some people who've done Kickstarters, and they like it shows up on their end, but not like our end or something. Pledge for that stuff. These are awesome. And for those worried about money right now, it does. Whenever you pledge, it only pulls the money from your account. A, if it makes the total, and B,
if it's completed, and
if it makes
the total.
Yeah, and at the very end. So this ends on the 20th, the 21st.
I think it is the 21st.
21st.
Yeah,
okay.
It's the Monday after Japan World Heroes.
Okay, yeah. So like if you're watching right now and you're like, oh, I would, but I don't get paid for 2 more weeks, you can pledge now, and that money won't be pulled from your account until
throw down that money for happiness right now.
Yeah, or you could do what I'm doing, pledge a little bit right now, and then like once you get paid or once you sell off more stuff and make some more money, then you can up your pledge. You can change your pledge.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The end, because that's not, like I said earlier. I'm pretty deep in the hole with stuff, and like I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get like a bunch of blanks and I'm gonna paint them up and stuff, and I'm like, I realized that's 3 days before I leave for All Monsters Attack, and then I got like the plane tickets and the hotel stays and all that stuff hitting my credit card. I'm like, oh, I got to make sure I don't overdraft.
You better paint that stuff up now.
Yeah. So well, like they don't charge you on the hotels until after you've checked out, kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like that hits, and then 3 days later that hits. So I'm like, can I sell enough stuff in 3 days?
Yeah, we'll do another live stream, and we'll just have all the stuff that you're trying to sell.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing a pop shop on Friday. So hopefully.
Okay. Right on.
If I make enough there, then I'm up in my pledge for sure.
I'm gonna be looking for that Sun Guts. I probably won't be able to buy it, but I'll just be looking at it, caressing it on my phone screen.
Oh, which
wanting it. Don't you have a Sun Guts like avant-garde burning one?
Oh, that is pending.
Okay.
I need to reach back out to that person. They've been trying desperately to sell a bunch of stuff. They're on the Facebook groups. They're like trying to sell enough to pay that off.
Okay.
I do have. Oh, speaking of, no, that's Max Toy. Never mind. I was gonna say Shin Izon, but that's Max Toy. But I think that was also designed by Sophie Campbell.
Sophie Campbell, who also did the original concept work for our Ultraman.
Yeah. I was reading that. I'm like, I know that name. Why do I know that name?
Yeah.
And then like it hit me.
Yeah.
I have. Oh, Yeah. Max toy,
Hell yeah! That's awesome!
right? And it's cool. Like it's bizarre but cool to like recognize these names and see how
there's so
connected.
many people that are connected, that are drawing, are sculpting, are painting. Like it's pretty rad to like pull that thread and like find that person that they may have just done the concept, or they sculpted the toy but they're not the producer of the toy, or they only paint the toy, or anything in between. And it's really rad to discover, like, oh my god, you're the artist of my favorite thing. That's so cool.
And that's a world that I've been learning about is all the different people involved in stuff. Like this person did the sculpt, and this person did the render, and this person did the paint. And I'm like,
Yep.
I didn't realize how. I thought it was like one person did a thing. Like I think I first learned about that.
I mean, it's possible for one person to do everything, but it's definitely easier if you involve, one person for each part.
Yeah. Well, I'll see like X Plus, they'll put out a thing. I'm like, I've seen that sculpt before. Did they steal that from this other? And then I'm like, oh no, they're involved. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like because for those watching right now and are currently pledging for the Kickstarter, do it. We need just over 200, and I'll tell you what. For each 100, I'll do a shot. I'll do a shot for each 100.
Whoever's in this chat right now, pledge 100 right now.
Yeah, do it.
Do it. You know you want to.
I'll tell you what. You can even tell me what I'm doing a shot of. Aha.
Trash can water.
That's okay. What alcohol? Here's the. What was I saying? Where was I going with this? I don't remember. I lost. Oh yeah, these are officially licensed, Tsuburaya approved figures.
Tsuburaya officially licensed. They are all approved.
How does that work? Like, I don't know what you're allowed to explain and.
That's a tacit way of saying Tsuburaya approves of us.
Tsuburaya does approve of us. What does that involve?
Well, because I mean, like we have people who make a lot of like 3D printed. Oh, here's this Godzilla thing and whatever, but they're not like officially licensed. And I know a lot of people are like, I only want to buy the
officially
official, with the stick, because I know a lot of like the Max Toy and stuff. They've got the little like Tsuburaya stick thing on it.
Yeah, on all my stuff, it's got to be copyright Tsuburaya or at Tsuburaya or TCP. I mean, Tsuburaya Production Co. TPC. And basically what we had to do was we went through a local licensing agent to get in contact with Tsuburaya and just be like, hey, we want to make your stuff. We want to make these characters. We have a lot of ideas on how and what we want to see produced. How do we do that? And it was just from one night of us like talking toys and monsters and kaiju that we just like had this like light bulb moment of just like, wouldn't it be cool if we did Ultraman toys? And then we were just like, how do we do that? Well, you hit up a couple people and message them, and you start working and negotiating a contract. And you're just like, all right, I'm in it now. We're gonna be making some cool stuff for a while.
That's amazing. Like, because I was like, these are official. These are I don't
These
know.
Are official. These are licensed.
These are official. No air quotes.
Stamp approved with a sticker
real
on
deal.
This is
these
real.
Have passed through the desks of Tsuburaya, and they said, yes, make these.
Emails have been sent. PDFs transferred back and forth with approvals and thumbs up saying, yes, you can do this. Make it. It
so for those
our guidelines.
Yeah, if you're hesitant because of this, these are not
they're not patchy bootlegs, dude. They're real.
They're the real deal. Do it. Jump on it. I also like. I noticed it took a few hours because earlier you had posted. I think it was like on Instagram or something like, "Oh, we're halfway," but mine hadn't updated to the halfway mark yet.
Mhm.
So no, it could be a few more hours before some of this stuff does update.
Sometimes it's like almost immediate, and sometimes it might lag a little bit.
Yeah.
I know that Kickstarter they're pretty good about updating everything, but there are people that like started a pledge that like have reached out to me like, oh, I've got this and this and this, and I want to press send, or I have pressed send, and then they need to adjust it to add more stuff or
Hmm.
mix and match of what they want. So it's kind of weird. It flip flops every now and then when people are making their adjustments.
Well, mine. I went to pledge, so I have multiple devices.
Yeah.
And there's one of my laptops has a virus that like steals credit card information.
Nice. That's cool.
I don't know where the virus is. I've downloaded a bunch of different software and stuff. So I
Yeah.
started doing it on there. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna do it on a different
Uh-huh.
device. So then
Yeah.
like I do it on my phone. And then it's like, okay, well, you need to log in, and then I log in, and then it's like there's nothing. So I'm like, okay, let me start it over. And then once I get to the final step, it's like, oh, here's like 3 times your pledge. And I'm like, oh god. So some of the fluctuation could have been me. I apologize.
Oh, no. We see everything on the back end of just like who adjusts what and what goes where and what pledges people want. Some people throw down money without even selecting any of the tiers. And
Mm.
it's funny to see from the back end of the Kickstarter what people are doing live and changing things up. And they'll like throw maybe like $20 down and like forget that they didn't choose anything. And
Mm.
then they'll log back into their account just to see the status of everything and look and like, oh, I didn't actually choose the figure that I wanted. So now I'm choosing the figure, but also I'm going to add this in and change this and do that. And it just, it's fun. It's fun seeing the status fluctuate.
And I've pledged for a bunch of different Kickstarters. Like
Yeah.
Sofabee. I'll just go in, I'll look up Sofabee and cocktail. Those are the two things that I forget. And I'm like, oh, I can't miss. After missing Ragnar, I'm like, I'm not missing another Sofabee Kickstarter ever again.
Oh, it's awesome.
Kicking
Supporting
myself for that one.
the community, man. You're out there.
Yeah, but so like, I apologize if it went from like 500 to like $50 or whatever mine did.
Oh, don't worry about it, man. We're not sweating it. I mean, we're here just promoting the Kickstarter and trying to rally all the troops behind us and get it, funded. I know people are throwing down money now. People are waiting for their next paycheck. I know people are really interested and want to see us succeed. And we're just here trying to talk about it and get more people behind it.
So for anyone in the chat watching live, or I guess if you're watching this, I don't know if this is gonna stay on the channel. Well, I don't know if this will vanish.
You should just publish it. Just publish it.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully I can do that. Oh, it looks like we got four people watching right now. I don't know if that's accurate, but hello, you four. If you've pledged, which tiers did you get? Which characters? And if you have pledged since we started 113 minutes ago. It's weird that it doesn't go by hours and minutes. If you've pledged and it hasn't updated, let me know, because if you've pledged, $100, I will do a shot. I will stick to
Yeah.
that.
Well, you know what? How about this? How about we close it out with a shot?
Yes. What are we shooting?
What are you shooting? Are you shooting what you want? Are you?
I've got all sorts of bizarre. I don't usually show the. I don't have like a bar setup. It's just like a table and.
You've got your experiment room, your science zone.
See if I can. So here's the other side. It's bottles. It's bottles and bottles.
This is the crazy person.
All sorts of weird. Oops. Just weird
Looks
stuff.
rad.
So we have we found this like little like liquor cabinet thing at a garage sale once.
Yeah.
So we have like my section and my wife's section, and then all the other stuff underneath. And my section up top is all like the stuff that there's only a little bit left of. That we're like, let's use it. Let's play around with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got stuff. I'm
Figure
not
out
sure
what
how
you
much.
want. Let's do this thing.
All right, what are you thinking?
I mean, you don't gotta drive.
Nope. Oh yes. So for anyone watching and who has watched my channel before, every time I make drinks and drink them, I'm doing it in the comfort and safety of my own home with nowhere to go, unless my wife comes home and she can drive, or I order like, food to be delivered or something. Please be safe and smart
Yes.
when drinking.
On that note, I'm gonna be doing a little bit of rye whiskey.
Ooh. Let me grab. Let's see. What do I have left that needs to be used up? Let's do this. This is a ginger flavored brandy.
Oh, jeez, it sounds insane.
Because I think we'd said before, like I went to Canada and I got this ginger liqueur, which was delicious, and I finally tracked down the same brand here in the U.S. and it tasted completely different, and that was really frustrating.
Man. That happens.
Yeah, but here we go. Oh wait, no, I want to use a shot glass. I've got a massive collection of shot glasses. I've got these spice racks.
Oh, I've got a Wolverine shot glass.
Ooh, I don't think I have all of my I had a bunch of superhero ones. We ran them through the dishwasher and they all lost their designs on them. Except for Captain America, who's like half melted and it looks like his brain was exposed. It was horrifying.
I think they did a comic book series about that.
I mean, yeah, and I was like, this is accurate, but in horrible ways. Okay, name a place. Oh, we're talking California. Where in California?
Are you asking me to name a place in California, or are you asking where I am?
Either or. I've got a bunch of California shot glasses.
Chino Hills.
Okay, I don't have that.
Rialto, California.
I got Redwoods.
Redwoods! Right, Redwoods!
I like
Why
that became I used to collect.
Why?
Every time I go on a trip, this has become like a souvenir thing. Like I gotta get a shot glass.
So you went to Redwoods, California?
Multiple times.
Why?
Why did I go, or why did I buy the shot glass?
Why did you go to Redwoods, California?
Because I've got one of my best friends. His grandma lives like right over there. And that's like his comfort place. Like when he needs to get away, he's like, I'm gonna visit grandma. We're gonna hang out. I'm gonna go just walk through the redwoods. It's gonna be great. So that's a few times I've gone with him. We just road trip down. We just go through the redwoods. It's brilliant. And I'm like, I gotta get a shot glass.
Right on. That's cool.
Yeah. I used to collect thimbles of every place, and now it's become shot glasses.
I've heard a lot of people doing that before. I know my grandma collected spoons, little teaspoons, and had a whole wall of teaspoons.
Seen and the little like thing where you hang them.
Yes, exactly.
Vertically on that. Yeah. I have a whole display case full of all my thimbles, and I have them organized geographically. as
Mhm.
best as I can, which is pretty fun.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Was I? Oh yeah. Ginger brand.
Alrighty, let us do this thing. Well, thank you for having me on your show. I greatly appreciate
course.
it. I've had
Thank
a
you.
lot of fun, and I look forward to all the other mixed drinks that we're gonna create and riff on in the future.
Absolutely. I know we've been talking about doing like mixing drinks together for a while, so I'm glad we're
So I'm
getting it
glad that
going.
we're doing it again.
Cheers.
All right, cheers.
Oh, spicy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ah! Let's go
All
fight
right,
some
so-
kaiju in the parking lot, dude.
The what?
Let's go fight some kaiju in the parking lot.
All right, let's go. Ikuma show.
Let me grab a beer.
Ooh. Yeah.
Alrighty, man.
Yeah. So, for those still watching, or whenever you are watching, if it's before August 21st, what? Check out the Last Bastion Studios Ultraman Chibi Sofubi Kickstarter. You can get Ultraman, you can get Gamora, you can get Gabora, you can get them unpainted red vinyl, you can get them fully painted by the man himself. Look at these. He's in his suit. He's like, I'm hot in here.
These guys are totally hot.
Look at the detail with the Ultraman. You got the mountains, you got the trees. That sense of scale is huge. I mean, like
Yeah,
in
it's
every
a lot
sense
of
of
fun.
them. You get them together, stick them on your shelf. 20 bucks unpainted, 35 painted. That is a steal for Sofubi. Jump on it. Help us make this happen on Kickstarter. Check out Last Bastion Studio. Oh, we're at 4,836. It updated.
Woo!
That
That's
wasn't a
my
full
first.
100,
I don't know you.
but we've gone up to the next 100. So, not that we've added 100, but we do have one. That's one more backer than we had before. So thank you, whoever you are. Let us know what you backed, which character, which versions. I'm curious to know.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to take off, my friend.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you
for
very
joining us.
much. Appreciate everything. I'll catch you tomorrow, and I'll send you some more recipes, dude.
Oh, yeah. Oh, your recipe. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. All right, dude. Take care.
Take care. I don't know how to end it. I'm going to be on forever. Thirsty Thursday Toys, figuring out how to do a live stream. Oh, is this it? All right. Good night, everybody. Go pledge. Drink responsibly. Stay safe. Good luck on your figure hunts. And catch you next time.